Okay, let's review for chapter 4, and let's take a look at number 3. These are some selected problems I think you guys would most likely be interested in knowing. So we need to find the maximum or minimum value, domain and range of this graph of the function. To do that, we're going to obviously need to find the vertex. Remember, that's our h value and our k. So let's go ahead and find out our vertex. H. Remember, it's always the opposite of what you think it is. K. Now we need to find the domain and range of the function. Since this is positive right here, we know that the graph is going to be concave up like this. So we're going to be looking for a minimum right here. So our minimum is always going to be the y value. So our minimum is going to equal -3. And the domain, since this graph is going to be -2, -3, kind of like this, we're going to think about all the x values we can plug in. And since these graphs go all the way to infinity, we can plug in any x value and get back up on the graph. So our domain is going to be all real numbers. The range, however, is our y values, and we've got a minimum right here of -3. So the range is going to be y is greater than or equal to -3. Number 4, what steps transform this graph? Again, we're looking at what's going on here, here, and here. The negative is going to be flipped over the x-axis. The 3 here, again, it's the opposite of what you think it is. It's going to be a shift to the left 3. Left 3. And up 5. Number 5, we have to look at the vertex form and write an equation of this parabola. Remember, the vertex form is y equals x minus 8, or a times x minus h, whole thing squared, plus k. So what I have to do is find my a value, my h value, and my k value. Remember, h and k is just the vertex, so I'm going to go right here to my vertex, and that's going to be -2, 2. So my h is going to be the opposite of what you think it is. -2, take the opposite of that. It's going to be +2. K value, it is what it is. Now we need to find the a value. The a value can be found by taking a look at your vertex and then looking at what point on the graph goes right through one of the coordinates that right at the corner of one of these boxes right here. It looks like it goes right through here. So it's kind of like the slope. You go up 4/1, and that's our a value. And we're done. Number 6. We've got a vertex, h and k, and we got a point here, x and y, that it goes through. They want us to write it in vertex form. Well, remember vertex form. We need to find a, h, and k. We've already found h and k. Take the opposite of what you think that is. Now we're looking for an a value. Well, to find the a value, we're going to have to use this point here for x and y. So we're going to rewrite the vertex form. Y equals a times x plus, plus 8, whole thing squared, minus 7. So now the only variable we're looking for is a. Let's simplify. Negative 7 plus 8 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So we're going to have a minus 7 equals negative 4. And then to get a by itself, add 7 to both sides. And your a value is 3. The next one, number 8. What's the vertex form of the equation? Well, we already know the vertex form. Since it's in standard form here, let's go ahead and use negative b over 2a to find our x value of the vertex, or h if you will. So negative b over 2a, 2 over 2 is going to be 1, so that's my x value. Now we need to plug that into the function to find our y value. 1 squared minus 2 times 1 plus 8. That's going to be 1 minus 2, which is negative 1, plus 8. Y is going to equal 7. And remember, this is going to be our vertex form. So we have found the actual vertex. I'm going to go ahead and erase this part right here. And our vertex is going to be 1, 7. Now we need to put it into vertex form. Y equals a, there's our a value right here, times x minus h squared plus 7. Number 10, they want us to find out the maximum and minimum value of the function, and what is the range? Well, maximum and minimum of a function is going to be the vertex. So let's find the vertex. Negative b over 2a to find our x value of the vertex. So it's going to be negative 28 over 2 times 2, which is 4. That's going to simplify to negative 7. So we've already got the vertex, x value. Now we need to find the y value by plugging this in. So we're going to have y equals 2 times negative 7 squared plus 28 times negative 7 minus 8. And through the magic of technology, we have the solution right here. Y is going to equal negative 106. And since this is a positive function, that means it's going to be concave up. We're going to be looking at a vertex down here, so we're going to be finding a minimum. And our minimum is going to be, again, our y value. And the range, well, it can go no lower than negative 106. So y has to be greater than or equal to negative 106. And that's our range. Let's talk about some factoring. When you factor, you might want to try and make your life a little bit easier. If there's something you can factor out right away from all three of these, go ahead and do it. Like, for example, I can factor out a 2 from all this. Now what that's done is leave me with a little bit of a bunny here. So I'm going to have 2, then put my parentheses since it's a bunny. Put my variable. What are my factors of 15 that add up to 8? How about 5 and 3? They both need to be positive to add up to positive 8, and we're done. The next one here, can we factor anything out right away? No, so we have to multiply the head times the butt, find factors equal to gut. So we need to find factors of 36 that add up to 13. Well, let's see here. How about 2 and 18 won't do it. How about 9 and 4? That's going to get us to 13. So all we're going to do is rewrite that 13x with 9x and 4x. Put our parentheses. Please be careful where you put these parentheses. And do we have happy cows? Yes, we do. Both the same sign. So let's factor some things out. Factor out a 4 or a 2 here. And if you're ever lost on what to factor out in the second part, look at the first part and see if that might give you a clue as to what we're looking for. Here's our final factored form. Number 18, oh excuse me, number 15, that's the difference of squares, so we simply have to write that, put our two parentheses, difference of squares, that's a perfect square, that's a perfect square, put our variables, and then what's being squared here? 8, and put the plus and minus, and we're done. It's called the difference of squares. It's a very easy one to factor. Okay, a slight technical difficulty here. I'm going to go ahead and erase that. And I want to take a look at a different completing a square problem. I want to take a look at this one right here. There we go. It's number 17. So they're asking us what to go ahead and what are the values that complete the square for this expression. Well, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find half of b squared. If I can find my pencil, there we go. I guess I can't find it. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. So we're going to still have to find half of b squared. So half of b is negative 9. Square that, that's going to be 81. Again, negative 9, or excuse me, negative 18 divided by 2 is going to equal negative 9. And we're still going to have to square that. And that's where we get our 81 from. It's called completing the square. If you're still reviewing, you may want to skip number 18. It's a little bit more involved than I thought we should get into. So that being the review, if you folks have any questions, please make sure you're coming in tomorrow morning, and we'll see you Monday for your test.